Hi, this is Rob with the Oil Trading Room. This is a recap for March 27th, 2019 for the Oil Trading Room using the Smart Patterns trading system. First off, past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. There can be a risk of loss trading futures. Make sure that you're trading with risk capital. Yeah? Okay. One of the things that we use in the room daily I'd like to share with you that's a key part of the way that we navigate our way through the day is the super map. And what this is showing you is that A period, the first 30 minutes of the day, is expected to break the prior periods of the day. The prior 3, 90%, 100% on the prior 1 and the prior 2 30-minute periods. And then we also know how much it's going to do it by. For example, it's going to break the prior 1 by 5 ticks historically, 80% of the time in this part of the table right here. For B period, you got 100% on all 3 of them, 90% to break the prior by 5, 70% to break it by 10. C period, the third 30-minute period of the day, 90% to break the prior 3, 80% to do it by 10, and etc. And this is a really nice way that we use to keep track of what's likely and what's not. Another thing that we know is that B period is likely to walk, so that -1, and then A period would be higher or lower. If A period is higher, that B period will also be higher 100% of the time. 80% for -2, -1A right there. 90% to walk ABC, and CDE 80%. And these other ones, these low numbers will tell us that it's not likely to do it. It's only 20% likely to do it in this particular case. There are other things you could deem from this table that you can learn in the trading room pretty much every day. Yeah. So let's take a look at a chart for today. Yeah. This is today's chart. First thing that we had right off the open this morning was we had resistance at 60.22. And we know if the market go to that, it's likely to get consolidation or reverse off of there initially. And that's what it did to the tick. Yeah. So we knew that A period -2, -1A, we knew A period was likely to break. We knew it was likely to do it by 10 ticks. It came up and it did that. And it came back up even further, and then B period extended out another 6 or 7 ticks up into that target, being the high of the day. The market began to come down from there. And we knew B, C, D was likely to walk also. So C was lower, so we knew D was likely to go lower. Today was inventory day. We knew that once we took out this line right here that it did over in here, that it was 97.5% that the market was going to continue to the downside. Yeah, and that's what it did. The first target that we had this morning was 59.54. 59.54. That comes out right after the open of the day, and that 59.54 was right over in here at this low. Yeah. The market came up and continued lower down through here, hitting the other daily targets. We publish these about 10 minutes after the day opens, and we trade to the targets each day. It's a beautiful thing, trading to the targets each day. 77% probability to 59.10 and 94% probability to 59.32. Yeah. The 59.10 is right here, and the 59.32 level was right in there. And so I've marked out some signals here that happened through the day. These are just textbook room signals that we use. The market's trending upward coming into A period here, and you get this kind of cycling. We call it A, B, C, D cycling. And when you get this little hook right here, we call that an R1 pattern. I have marked that out, and I just had the system. We have a software we use called Trade Markers. It's available through Indicator Smart. And I just mark these out to hold for 5, 10, and 15 ticks for each of these trades. Yeah. We had a signal right here. This is what we call that, a T2 signal. R1 T2 signal is what we call it. Each of the signals that we use in the room are some kind of a classification pattern. Yeah. R1 T2 right here. Market headed down right here, going A, B, C, D, going lower into C period. It came back up. It touched into here. We call this a pivot retag. And the market was higher here on the smart momentum. This is the same pattern that you have over here. And this is signaling that the range is expanding and that the market is likely to continue lower, which it did. Yeah. Another alternation happened in here. It came back and it retested right in here. Market headed a little bit lower in through here, and then it came lower. This particular signal right here is what we call a 3D pattern. 3D pattern. And there's a sell that happened right there. Yeah. The market came back up, touched into this structure over in here, and it came lower from there. And the signal is what we call a T2. It'd be a R3 T2 pattern. That's what we call right there. Each of these has a specific probability associated with it. This particular pattern right here is called a TTO box lead out pattern on green background. And we know this market's going higher there with relatively high probability, about 95% actually. Market had come down here, A, B, C, D, going lower. Market came up here. You got another TTO box, TTO lead out pattern on green background here. Market came higher. It came up here. We call this a 5-tick trap, T2, TTO pump. And the market came lower from there. Once the market came down to this line right here, which it did right there, we know it's 97%, the market's going lower. We got an alternation right here, we came lower, and we picked up a 3D pattern right here, going lower. Boom. Came down, went into that first target. Market did a little alternation off of the target, picked up another T2, R1, T2 pattern right here, going lower. Now market came back up here. This is a R2, T2 pattern right here. Now market came down to this low right here, and we got a 3 higher dot on green pattern and going higher. Our market came up into here. We formed this structure here. We call these railroad ties when you get that. And we got a boxing or a 3D pattern right there. Yeah. Our market came down into this region right here, and you picked up a T2 pattern, and you also picked up a TTO box lead out pattern right here on a green background. You know the market's likely to go higher right there. You picked up a 3-dot pattern here. It was good for about 5 ticks on that one. And then the market moves sideways for the rest of the day. Actually had a 3D pattern right there that happened really fast, but I didn't mark that one because I wasn't doing that. So this is the cap for the day. Notice that we have these patterns that we do off of the super map. That's what I showed you initially. And then we have the targets. So what we do in the room is we trade these patterns towards these targets and towards these levels. And that helps us to keep track of it. Actually, this whole way down here, we're hitting targets, retracing. The targets then extended out further and then further and further and down and down and down. Yeah. At this point, we'd hit a reasonable range target for the day, 112 ticks coming down right there before the market came back up into structure. Yeah. And so super map here. This tells us at each juncture along the way, for example, all these periods today, 90% to break the prior, 90%, 90%, 80, 80, 80, 60, and then 100% in K. Yeah, which is exactly what it did. So I'm available if you need me. If you have any questions or you'd like to learn more about how we do this each day, like I said, we have signals with known probabilities. We trade them towards the target each day. The targets are known probabilities, so you get probabilities stacked on top of probabilities. We call it probability stacking. That's a unique way of trading that has some known outcome from a probability standpoint. Yeah, we've been doing this for a long time. We've refined it. In fact, the room's been around for about 4.5 years now. We've had massive growth in the room over the history of the room. And if you're interested in learning to trade, this is a great way to do it. And with all the history in the room, you're stepping into the room at just the most amazing time. So if you have further questions, you can contact me through the oiltradingroom.com, or indicatorsmart.com. You can get the tools through indicatorsmart.com to learn how to trade this way. Yeah. So, okay, guys, that's what I've got for you today. Thank you for joining me for this quick recap of today's action. And it's not an entirely atypical kind of a day. And so, thanks for joining me. We'll see you on the next one. Thank you. Thank you.